Now, what's the most disrespectful thing someone has done in your home? A few years ago, my cousin Kevin asked to stay at my place for a week or two while his apartment was being fumigated. I hesitated, but he begged, said it was temporary and that he'd stay out of my way. I live alone in a 2-bedroom condo, so I figured, hey, it's family. How bad could it be? The first red flag? He showed up with a U-Haul, not a suitcase. A full-on moving truck packed with furniture, boxes, and, surprise, 2 cats. He never mentioned the cats. He started hauling his stuff into my guest room like he was moving in permanently. I said, Kevin, I thought this was for a week. He just laughed. Yeah. Just figured I'd bring everything so I don't have to go back and forth. Whatever. I let it slide. Day 2, I caught one of his cats licking butter off the counter. The other had knocked over a potted plant and pooped in the soil. Kevin just shrugged. They're kinda wild. You'll get used to them. Day 4, the smell hit. He wasn't cleaning the litter boxes. My guest room reeked. I asked him to clean up after them, and he said, I will. Then went right back to gaming on my TV, surrounded by empty beer cans and pizza boxes. By the end of the week, he hadn't cleaned or cooked once. Used all my bath towels, left them wet on the floor, ate all my groceries, and invited friends over without asking. One morning, I found 4 strangers passed out in my living room. Someone spilled salsa on my rug and tried to cover it with a paper towel. I pulled Kevin aside and said, This isn't working. I need you to wrap this up soon. He shrugged. Still dealing with the fumigation. Could be a few more weeks. Something felt off, so I called his apartment complex. They told me the fumigation had ended 3 days after he moved in with me. When I confronted him, he admitted it. Said he didn't want to go back because he hated the vibe there and liked my place better. I told him that wasn't the deal and gave him a 2-week deadline. That's when things got worse. He started retaliating in weird, petty ways, leaving all the lights on, using all the hot water, swapping my coffee with decaf. One morning, I found him wearing my robe, drinking coffee from my favorite mug like he owned the place. Then came the final straw. I work from home and have a proper office setup, dual monitors, mic, expensive chair, the works. I went away for the weekend, and when I came back, he had completely taken over my office, moved all my gear out, set up his gaming rig, stapled a Call of Duty poster to my wall, and even mounted a mini fridge under my desk. I was stunned. I said, Kevin, what is this? He goes, Oh yeah, sorry. I needed space to game. Your room has better airflow. Kevin, this is where I work. He shrugged. Can't you use your laptop in the kitchen? That was it. I told him he had 48 hours to leave. He pouted, said I was kicking him out on the street. I reminded him he had an apartment. He said, It's just not the same. You have central air and good vibes. The next day, I came home to find the front door unlocked. Kevin was gone, but so was my air fryer, Bluetooth speaker, and framed hallway photos. I texted him, You stole from me? He replied, Relax, just borrowed a few things. I'll bring them back. He never did. As I cleaned up, I realized he'd also taken 2 bottles of wine, my favorite hoodie, and one of my throw pillows, for no reason. But he left trash bags full of laundry behind. Oh, and the cats? Still there. That's when I did something petty. I texted his ex. They'd broken up months ago, and she still had a key to his apartment. She hated his guts. I explained everything, and she offered to help. We brought the cats back and moved some of his junk over. The next morning, I put all the rest of his stuff on the curb. Took photos, sent him a final message. Your stuff's outside. Cats are back at your place. You're not welcome here again. No reply. 2 weeks later, my HOA called. Someone had tried to use the pool and gym under